Hi, it's Jackie. Welcome to Life in Motion Gym. Today we're going to go through a therapeutic yoga session, mostly on the floor here, focusing a little bit more on the core and some shoulder work as well. So I would recommend if you have any knee issues, maybe grab a blanket to pad the knees because we will be working through some poses that you'll be on your hands and knees or in tall kneeling, which will be mostly on your knees as well. So go ahead and grab something if you need a little extra cushion. I'll give you modifications, of course, throughout, but it might be nice to have that. And if you have your yoga blocks, I don't have mine on me right now, but if you have them, you can use them for your wrists as well if you have any issues there. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to dive right in and we're going to start on our hands and knees. So that's where I'm going to put my blanket down here. And I might actually just spread mine out a little bit. You can kind of have yours build up as much as you need. I'm going to come down onto my knees on top of the blanket. We're going to come onto our hands and knees, like I said, tabletop position is sometimes what I'll call it as well. Just being mindful of our position of our knees and our hips. So when we come down, we want our knees lined up mostly with our hips, so we're not rocked back like this, which is what I see a lot, but we're also not too far forward, which is the obviously the other way you could be. But so kind of find somewhere in the middle, and you might need to kind of shift your weight front to back to kind of see what feels good to you as well, especially on the wrists. For the hands, you can turn the fingers out slightly to help with the wrists, and the wrist can be slightly ahead of the shoulders because sometimes that also takes some pressure off the wrist as well. So there's not much of a as much pressure through the bending part of the wrist if they're a little farther out. Okay. The other area here you want to be mindful of is the shoulders and the ears, right? So we don't want to sink down in to our tabletop. We want to push the floor away, strong through the arms and the shoulders, and slide the shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades down the back. Okay, so we're in our tabletop. Again, shift around a little bit, front to back, side to side, and kind of land somewhere in the middle. Let's take one deep breath in. Let it all out. Big sigh. One more like that. In. Big sigh. All right. Inhale here as you lift the head towards the sky. Drop the belly towards the floor. Let the heart lift. And then exhale, round through the low back, through the upper back. Let the head drop. Cat cow. So just toe nice and slow here to start. Inhaling, rolling through the low back, letting the belly drop, chest lifts, head lifts, and then try to reverse that. Roll and let everything kind of round out and the head drops. Let's do about 3 more, and you go at your own pace here. If you like to hold it a little bit longer at each end point, go ahead and do that. And just see what your body's feeling as we start to warm up here. Are you getting stuck in the low back, in the middle of the back? Does your neck feel a little stiff? That's okay. We're just starting to observe how we're feeling as we warm up. Let's come last one back through to the middle. Now you know those extremes, right? Cat and cow. So find somewhere in the middle for your low back to be at. Again, we don't want one extreme or the other, kind of somewhere where we say neutral, but that just means honor your natural curves in the spine. So we got that position. Our belly button's pulled in a little to help us. We're inhaling. Now exhale, drop your left hips off to the side and look over your right shoulder. Start to feel the side body here open up, which is a nice, yummy feeling. Inhale through middle. Exhale, drop your right hips off. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale through middle and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more here each way. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Coming back through middle. You can get your knees a little wider if that feels good. We're going to keep our left hand on the mat. Big inhale, open up towards the sky. Start to feel the rotation now through the spine. Again, take it easy on the first one. As you exhale your next breath, scoop that right arm all the way through, palm up. As you come down towards the floor, you might not make it all the way down, and that's okay. If you can, you're resting your head on the mat. Other hand is here to support you. And just pause for a breath, starting to stretch through the back of the shoulder blades. Inhaling, exhaling. As you inhale, again, use that left arm to help. We're coming all the way back up through to your tabletop. We're going to try that one more time. If you want to take a cat-cow in between, you can do that. Come back through to your neutral position. Inhale, open up to the left, and then exhale, scoop that water, palm up to the other side. See how far the head wants to come towards the ground. Again, that's okay. If it doesn't come all the way down, pause for a breath. And inhale, back up through the middle. Knees can stay wide because we're going to sink those hips back towards the heels, child's pose. So hands can stay more bent if that's comfortable, or reach them out and make it more of an active child pose. So we're pausing for about 3 breaths. Try to really direct the breath into the low back and into the hips. So as you exhale, try to let yourself relax farther into the pose, releasing any tension in the hips. Last breath here. We're going to work through a little flow here next, okay? So if your arms aren't extended, have them out all the way. Palms are down flat, fingers are wide. We're going to keep our knees right where they are, but we're shifting our hips forward. So we're going to inhale, shift all the way kind of into your modified plank. You might need to shift the knees together a little bit here. And then we're going to exhale, come down just a couple inches, right? So let's come down, bend the elbows, and then push back up. So that's 1. We're going to do 3 push-ups. So inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, mini push-ups. You can go deeper if that feels okay. Inhale, last one, push all the way up. Now slowly lower all the way to the floor onto your belly. I'm going to move our lovely plant as it's catching my hair a little bit. So from here, bring your arms out, kind of like a goalpost, okay? We're pausing, breathing in, lift that right arm and left leg up, and then back down. Lift, opposite arm, opposite leg. 1 more each way. Inhale, lift. You can lift the chest as high as you feel you can reach it off the floor. And back down. Hands slide back towards the ribs. Inhale, lift all the way back up and find your child's pose. 1 more time. We're going to do 1 more round, so we're kind of getting a feel for it. So we're going to inhale. I'm just shifting my blanket back a little bit so you guys can see better. All right, we're inhaling, coming all the way forward to our modified plank, 3 mini push-ups. Keep the elbows tucked in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, strong through the shoulders and all the way up. Now we're exhaling slowly lower all the way to the belly. Hands come out like a goalpost. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Lift up. Exhale, down. Inhale, opposite arm and leg. Down. 1 more each way. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Hands slide back towards your chest and ribs. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Nice job. So we're going to come back to that as we go through another flow. So we're going to come into gate pose, which is on the knees. So I am going to again shift a little bit so you can see me better. Blanket down for the knees. We're coming into our, call like a tall kneeling position here. So we're lifting again through the core, through the heart, and then we're kind of grounding through the back of the legs as well. And the tops of our feet are helping support us. Our hips aren't sinking back. We're tucking the hips, we're bringing them with us to help stabilize us with all our strong muscles in the glutes there. So from here, it'll be a little bit of balance, but also a little bit of stretching as well. So we're going to start to your right side. So you're going to shift your way over to the left leg and bring your right leg out, right? So this is where you're going to feel a little bit of stretch to the inner thigh. So if you look at my foot, it's lined up hopefully somewhat with my left knee. But my toes are facing forward. If this is too uncomfortable, you can just turn your toes up towards the sky as well. So find somewhere that feels okay to you, and your hips are mostly square, with the front of the room. It's okay if they're not exactly. A little bend in the knee is okay if you're really tight there. So this is our gate pose, right? So we're stabilizing through the left leg. Our hips are tucked underneath us. We're engaging our glutes. And then we have a nice long line through that right leg. From here, we're going to inhale our arms up. And this might be right where you stay, and that's okay. Just hold here for a few breaths. If you want to add on, drop your right arm to your thigh and reach up and over. So you're getting an extra side stretch through the left. Pause for a breath, looking up towards the sky. As you inhale, come back through middle. Here's where we're going to go into another flow little pattern. So drop your left hand, again, block or floor. Block's nice because you can raise up a little bit and you don't have to lower as far. So block preferably or floor. And here we're in our side plank position, right? So we're just holding right here. And again, trying to keep everything lined up. You can see my hips wanted to turn out. See if you can roll that right hip forward and down. So everything's stacked up on each other. Pull that belly button in. Hold here. If you want to add a little extra, maybe you lift that right leg. Now this is some balance work, right? Pull the toes towards you and hold, or just tap the toes down and hold. One more breath. And from here, fun transition, we're just spinning and moving that right arm down back to the mat. So we're kind of in our half little tabletop, and drop the knees one more time. Find your modified plank like we just did, right? We're here. We're doing our 3 push-ups. We're inhaling down, exhale up. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale. We're lowering all the way to the floor. Hands come up like a goalpost. Inhale, opposite arm, opposite leg lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale. And inhale, lift. And exhale. Inhale. All the way back up to your modified plank, not child's pose, modified plank. We've got to do the same thing other side, right? So we're going to take our left hand towards the front of the mat, and we're going to turn our left foot out behind us, and we're finding that alignment of our side plank, right? So our right leg is straight, or sorry, your left leg is straight. It's my right leg. Your left leg is straight, and your right arm, I apologize, your right arm is on the mat. Your left arm is straight up towards the sky, or you can have hand on the hip. I know I said that opposite. Left hand is raising up towards the sky. Right hand is on the mat. Left leg is straight. Okay. Your right leg is bent on the mat. Inhale. And from here, we're going to try to see if we can use some of our core. Your left hand can come back to the hips and try to shift your weight over towards that your left leg, and come all the way back up to your gate pose. I swear I'll know my left and rights at some point as I'm teaching. Here's our gate pose. You're holding here, breathing in and breathing out. Drop your left arm down to your left thigh. If you want, reach up and over with your right arm. One more breath. And back down. Come to with your right arm, we're going to kind of swing back through into your modified plank. Okay, one more round of the push-ups. We're inhaling lower, exhale, push up. Inhale, exhale. And again, if the push-ups are too much, you're just holding your plank. And then slowly lower all the way down, arms out like a goalpost. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, opposite arm, opposite leg. One more each way. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, lift all the way back up, and knees can come wide. One more time to your child's pose. Two more breaths. And slowly come back up, and you can kind of shift your hips off to the side and come towards the middle of your mat into your boat pose. So from here, we're going to do one last little bit of core work, and then we'll relax on the mat. So I like to kind of start with my hands behind my thighs, my heels are on the mat, and then I'm trying to just reach up through, kind of like we're doing a seated cat-cow, but we're lifting the heart up, dropping again those shoulders down the back. And just pause here. If this is where you're at with your boat pose, that's where you're at. That's fine. If you want a little extra, we're leaning back, starting to feel that core engage. And again, hold here if this is where you're at. Step up from here. You lift one foot off. Hold if this is where you're at, right? Or maybe you meet me in boat pose with both feet lifted, okay? I like to kind of keep the toes pulling back towards you to kind of keep the legs activated all the way. You can have them pointed, but I like to have them flexed a little bit. Use that support behind the legs to help. One last final step is to use both hands out. So you're really having to rely on that core here, but we're not dipping down like this. If that happens, use your hands to stay lifted. I'd rather you use your hands and stay lifted. Go ahead and drop the legs and just go ahead and rock it out here. Head can fall between the knees. We're going to do two more. Okay, so I want you to kind of play around with it, have a little bit of fun with it, and see what you got. So we're inhaling up. Again, heart lifted. Maybe we lean back. We're holding belly button in. Maybe we're lifting. Again, yogi's choice. And then give me a few breaths wherever you land here. Trying again, not to round the back too much. And exhale, And again, you can kind of clasp the hands under the legs if you want. It's kind of a nice little relaxation. Let the back round out here. Let everything relax. We got one more. Inhale, we're lifting. Exhale, we're lowering. And if you like to raise the legs and lift the arms, go right ahead. Focus on the stability. Sometimes I'll add different movements in here, but for today, I just want you to focus on the stillness, on the stability of the pose, what you're feeling in the body, and slowly release. When the feet land, you might want to shift your hips forward a little bit. And then again, with control, slowly lower to the ground. You can always use your blanket that you had under your knees, under your head. Have a little cushion. So with both knees bent and feet together, let's move the hips off to the left and drop your knees to the right. And let your hands, if you have the space, they both come out like a T or a goalpost. And just open up through that front of the chest and a little more through the back. And give me a few nice slow breaths here. As you inhale, noticing maybe more of an intense stretch through the front of the shoulder, stretching through there as the diaphragm opens up. Last breath. And inhale, legs come back through middle, shift the hips to the right, let the knees drop to the left, and then open up. Your left hand can be out like a T or it can be resting on the top of your right leg. We did some work, of course, with those push-ups and then with the planks through the arms. So this is a nice way to give them a little stretch after all of that. And inhale back through middle. And go ahead and find a comfortable position with your legs. They can be straight or you can keep them bent, whatever feels comfortable to you. Arms will relax by your side. Let the eyes start to close. Just take 3 final nice slow breaths. So as we inhale, we're expanding through the belly and slowly breathing out through the mouth or nose. Calming breath. 2 more at your own pace. As you exhale, just letting go of any other stress or worries, or whatever is not serving you in this moment right now, and adding positivity to your life. Just let go. Take a moment in the stillness here again. And take one last moment to think of a few things that you feel grateful for today. You even place one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly. Just let the feeling of gratitude wash over the body here. Smile spreads across the lips, across the heart. I welcome you to stay here a little bit longer. If you're coming along with me, we can bring both hands together into prayer, landing between the eyes. And thank you guys for joining me today. As always, I'm grateful for you and the community that we have. Peace, peace, peace.